Hello and welcome to the Couple of Pints podcast. This week's episode, as you probably guessed, is all about Japan. As always, if you can subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify and follow us on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter, we really would appreciate your support. Let's get into the episode. George, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. Couple of pints.
Cans of pints.
They are pints, to be fair. So just to confirm, I'm on the Miller Lite and you are on Corona. We are in Treasure Island Resort in Las Vegas. So thanks to them for allowing us to record here. But because of operational and logistical issues, we are actually talking about Japan. So should we get into it?
Yeah, I feel the main reason we're now doing it in Vegas is the fact Japan was so busy. We just didn't have time to sit down and do a podcast in Japan because every single day we were there, it was just full of stuff that we had to get down and do. So
we've been pretty much relentlessly non-stop. Obviously, there's been a little bit of a break from our podcasts in between the interviews in the UK and then getting back onto it with the travel podcasts. So we do apologise and we do thank you for your patience with that. But let's get into the main topic of the day, Japan. What a country, what a place.
Amazing, yeah.
It's passed my expectations by quite a way. I think one thing that I had as a preconception going into Japan was no one speaks English. You're going to sort of struggle to find any Western food or anything like that because people were just constantly banging the drum about how detached Japan has been from the rest of the world. I don't think that's particularly true. But I also thought that the weather would be better.
Yes, we did strike it during a bit of a rainy period, so we had a lot of rain over our times there, which I don't think it ruined the experience.
I think if anything, it enhanced it.
Yeah, I do think. Well, I think it would have been nicer perhaps if we didn't have to take a coat. Or obviously we had umbrellas. Like everyone has an umbrella though. Like if you go out, everyone's got an umbrella.
Yeah, in England, it's really unusual for people to go out of the house with an umbrella.
Unless it's raining when you leave.
If you're golfing, maybe. Like if you're a golfer, possibly. But by and large, I don't think people are going out with umbrellas. But in Japan, like as soon as you get that little spot of rain, mate, it was like a scene from a film. It was just like pop, 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 pop everywhere. And you just saw these umbrellas. What were your preconceptions of Japan going into
Japan? I hadn't heard too much about it. I knew it was always on my list of bucket places to go to, like just an incredible destination, and just something I thought would be a little bit different from anywhere else I've been. Obviously, I've been to America a lot, and places like that, which are a lot of Europe as well, similar to back home in the UK. I thought Japan was going to be out there, something very different, which it was definitely. I thought my biggest thing was I thought it was going to be very futuristic. I thought that was the kind of vibe I got from it. There was going to be very futuristic, like technology was going to be crazy.
High-tech, futuristic
the technology and stuff would be very advanced and that kind of vibe.
Yeah, we'll dive into that a bit more shortly, but I think that I thought the same. I thought it would be very much like you hardly expect to see hoverboards. It's that sort of place. You think hoverboards, people flying around on jetpacks.
Seen out of Marty McFly and the Back to the Future.
That's pretty much what I thought. But it's almost like an entire society built on convenience,
efficiency
and convenience. They're the two things. Like they're not totally high tech with everything, but there's always a reason for everything.
Yeah.
So you sort of. You might not even understand the reason for some things, but generally, there is one, and it's always there.
Yeah. Everything makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. One of my preconceptions just going into it is I talked about people not speaking English. Obviously, we had Tim Warwood on the pod. Tim was there during COVID, so he was reporting on the Olympics, and I guess that during COVID there weren't many tourists there, so there was no need for most of the Japanese people living in Tokyo to have any sort of reason to speak English. Whereas when we went there, I think that I thought we'd leave the airport and not hear English until we got back to the airport.
I feel a lot of people you spoke to didn't speak English, but the thing that surprised me was signs. Like the signs were in English, like the worst English signs. So we could get by with there's English, like they've got the the Japanese writing and the English writing on a side.
Yeah.
So we can get by using that and
It's
seeing
a lot more
things
fun
and-
to try and work out where you were going. By just
I
using
feel
the
in,
signs,
I
but-
feel more in restaurants and stuff. Obviously, we're going to come on to food at some point. Restaurants and stuff, it was like you were pointing at things on the menu. There was less kind of for some of the items, like if we're in some more kind of authentic food place, it wasn't necessarily this is what it is in English. It was like here's a picture of it. This is what it's called in Japanese. We go, you know what, that looks alright, and so it'd be a process of pointing at that one and saying, can I have this one, please?
Yeah, and to be fair, so that's absolutely right. But I think that the people that we've encountered during our time in Japan, they're all very helpful.
Yes.
No one wanted to sort of like not talk to us or stay out of our way. Generally speaking, by and large, they were really sort of, you know, we'll give you a push along your way. We'll make sure that you get where you're going. And even like police officers, like if you were lost, like, they're just that way, mate, no problem.
I think that's probably the biggest. One of the biggest takeaways I take from Japan was that the people were like incredible. Like, they were so amazing, so nice, so friendly. That's one of the things at so many places we've been and travelled. The people there were just incredible. Like always happy to help, as you said. They were just so kind, so friendly. Never any trouble at all.
No, and it strikes me as the sort of place where there isn't that much trouble, there isn't that much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not
it's a respectful society.
Yes,
It's a really respectful society, which sort of brings me into the next thing, which is like talking about the nightlife and the bars. Me and a barman played darts for the Champions League trophy one night.
Yeah.
And to this day, that's mental. So I was sat at a bar. England were playing Ukraine, I think.
Yes.
Yes, it was. England were playing Ukraine like 2 in the morning or whatever it was. So we were all sat in a bar, and I was just sat there phasing out of this game, which was boring as hell. Thanks, Gareth. And I just plopped the Champions League trophy on the top of a fridge. And I think I knocked you. I was like, George, come here. And you were like, what? Is that the Champions League trophy on top of the fridge? so I was fixated on this. So then eventually, like, the England game's finished, and I've just turned to the barman and I've gone, do you play darts? And he's like, yeah. So we played soft tip darts. And I went, right, okay, we'll play darts, but let's double the stakes here. We're playing for a trophy and a beer. So it was playing for the European Cup and a beer, which you couldn't go wrong with. But as it was, I won the European Cup playing darts and I got a beer out of it. So, but again, that sort of thing, I feel like in a city centre in England, you couldn't just challenge a barman to a game of darts at 2 in the morning.
You wouldn't see it,
And you certainly couldn't go behind the bar to grab the European Cup and pick it up. But then the actual gaffer of the place, he wanted to play the winner. So I ended up losing the European Cup to the gaffer.
Yeah, had to stay where it was in the end.
So, I mean, but my point is that it sort of fluctuates in between the people and the nightlife. Like, the people are so good, but like even in, you know, a few beers in, you've got that scenario where these people are really sort of nice and really just sort of...
I feel a lot of the bars like the kind of, there's an activity as well as the bars. A lot of the bars we went to, they weren't just like, here's a bar, here's just bar on the side, dance floor or music or tables and chairs and stuff. A lot of the bars we went to had stuff on. They had the soft tip darts, there were pool tables.
Remember that bar we went to on the Friday night when we got there? So
yeah,
we went to an English bar to watch the Japan game.
Yes, we did,
Japan against Uruguay, and then we went from there to the pool and darts bar.
Yeah, so again, just pool and darts bars everywhere. So like you go in, there's got a couple of pool tables, they've got the soft tip darts with all the electronic boards and stuff on it to tell you like the scores and work out the games and stuff like that. So like a lot of the bars did have stuff in, and then you mix that onto karaoke, which I know we'll speak about in a bit as well. Whereas like that is mixed into drinking as well. So I feel like a lot of the drinking culture and the going out and having fun is mixed with an activity kind of thing,
it's really sociable.
Yes, it is. It's built on being very sociable.
It's almost like what Britain probably was, because I mean, in this day and age, obviously pubs are closing like there's no tomorrow, and the only way to drink in England seems to be just sit at home with a can of special brew. That's the way it's going. But you look at, as you said, just like you look at karaoke there. Karaoke obviously came from Japan. It's a Japanese thing originally. I was expecting karaoke bars.
Yes.
Like proper karaoke
Like
bars.
where it's going to be
where you
a stage, a big screen.
You walk in, you hear someone destroying a song,
Yeah.
and you're all having a beer. But it's a little bit different. It's like a karaoke hotel.
Yeah, it's karaoke rooms, isn't it? So obviously they do have them in the UK. We've been to some in the UK before. But here they were massive. They were like every street would have one or two or three of these karaoke.
It's like he walks into a hotel room, into a hotel reception, said, "Oh, yeah, we're here for the karaoke." Yeah, fine. Floor 5. Get up to floor
Room
5.
number 12,
and it was all like it was hotel room styles, but just benches around the outside. And what you'd do is you go in. There'd be 2 iPads. One iPad in Japanese only. One iPad in English with Japanese.
One of the iPads for the songs. So you'd have one iPad that we can put in the song choices, and so you can choose by whose song you are. So same as any normal karaoke, really. You can put whatever song you want on, comes on your little screen. You got a little, so it's a whole booth for like most ones we went in fit like maybe like 8 to 10 people in them. Booth around the outside, table in the middle, big screen at the end, speakers, couple of mics. So you've got one iPad where you're going to cue all your songs and put the songs on, and the other iPads, probably our favourite iPad, was the unlimited drinks.
So the way they work it is they don't say, right, okay, you're paying for the karaoke, then you're paying for the drinks. They just lump it all in one and say, okay, you've got the room from now
until like an hour and a half or 2 hours.
And when you leave, you come down and we'll charge you on the time, not on the drinks. I mean, I think we overstayed every time.
Every time we went, we did.
Because we were always like, oh, last song.
We haven't done.
We haven't done Sweet Caroline. So we sort of carried on and constantly kept missing our deadlines. But it was worth every second. It was so worth every penny. And we had some great people with us. I mean, I think the first night was just me, you, and Sam.
Yes, it was.
Which it shouldn't work. Karaoke with 3 people should not work. But it did.
Yeah, it did. And as you said, the drinks just keep coming out. On the iPad, we order the 3 drinks, and then you go, oh, we're halfway through, we'll order another 3. And it's not like your bottomless drinks if you go to like Turtle Bay or whatever in the UK, where you're having a bottomless brunch and they're slow and they're like, right, you've got to finish that one before you bring the next one, and they're taking ages, and you're going, wow, how are we really getting on most for our money for this? Not here. Like, you could order as many drinks as you want at a time, and as often as you want. They just keep coming. Someone will come in with a tray, bring your drinks, and we were just going bang, bang, bang with that time we were there.
The service was incredible.
It was very good.
It was literally, you put the iPad down, and within like 2 minutes there'd be a knock on the door.
Back.
Here they are. And there was one night where I think we've got the photo somewhere, and it was just a table plastered with booze. We were there for 2 hours that night. You walk out absolutely clattered, having had the best night of your life.
Yeah, it was good.
But yeah, it was. I really enjoyed sort of karaoke in Tokyo. I thought that was a lot of fun. And if anyone ever goes to Tokyo and you're with a group of people, just do yourself a favour and you've got to go.
It was so much fun. It's good value for money. If you're talking about going out and having a pre-drinks, you could go to a shop and get a bottle and whatever and have pre-drinks, or you could go here and literally have fun, sing some songs, and literally just unlimited drinks, whatever you wanted. The only issue was, though, everywhere we went, the drinks menu was always in Japanese. So, again, you're ordering off pictures then. So you're going, that looks like a rum and coke.
I tell you, you did. You ordered me a beer, because you were drinking rum and cokes and I was on the beers. And a beer turns up with 0.0% written all over it. And I was like, George, why have you ordered me a non-alcoholic beer?
On the menu, a beer looks the same as but they had like 5 different beers on there, but they all look the same. It's all written in Japanese, but the beer image is the same on all of them. But same was I was.
You were trying to protect my phone calls.
I was like, I could see the music talent was just drifting a little bit as you had more booze. So we're trying to.
Right, so you're trying to get us back.
Yeah. But same with the rum and cokes. Trying to get rum and cokes. Ordered a few whiskey and cokes at some point, because how are you meant to tell? It looks like coke on all of them. So how am I meant to know? But it was good fun either way.
It was good. So from nightlife and karaoke bars into food. The food in Japan, there's a hell of a lot of variety. You can pretty much have whatever food you want.
Yeah.
I mean, I sort of had. I think to be fair, we all had quite a lot of Western food when we were there. I mean, it was just a case of you and Sam. You're into your seafood a bit more than I am. So you cracked on with the sushi bar.
I think the food in Japan, that's like one of the favourite. I keep saying one of my favourite parts about it, but like it was just incredible. I loved the food. So yeah, one of the times you mentioned that we were just looking for a sushi bar. Me and Sam were like, we really want some sushi. If you found this sushi bar and with a revolving table or whatever, and you see the guy standing in the middle making them all fresh, you can see him make it, then put it on the thing, you're taking them off. And me and Sam said, like, we got to try it, like, we want to try it, we'll go in, have a couple of plates, and we tried the sushi, we tried the experience, like, it'll be good. We had the first 2 plates, and we were like, this is so good, like, and we ended up being there for, like, I don't know if we were there an hour and a half, and we were just going.
I had 3 beers next door.
Yeah, exactly. So we were going, we were having plate after plate after plate.
Me and Gav from America were having 3 beers.
But then again, it was a case of like, we were like, first we were trying like, oh, that's a salmon nigiri, like, I had that, love that in the UK, I'll have that, love it, good. But then we're like, as we had more and more, we were like pushing the boat out a bit more and more. You're like, you know what? No idea what that one is. We'll try that one. There was some like squid ones, some octopus ones, like, but it looked like full tentacles and everything. But it was so good. The sushi was incredible. And then from that we even went to some ramen places. They were so good. The ramen was there.
Although you did go to Apodu, which is like it's the equivalent of going to Wagamama's in Japan.
But I feel
it was a chain.
It was a chain.
We've seen it all over the world.
When we were obviously when we were there, we're searching like best places to get ramen. This is coming at the top. Like, oh wow, here we go. We'll go here then. Incredible. The food was so good. Loved it. And then when we go to where did we see it next? Was it Australia we saw it first?
No, it was the Philippines.
Philippines. So we're in the Philippines, and then we see one. And we go, oh my god, like that's.
I know it was Thailand as well.
Was it Thailand? And then it was
definitely
in Australia.
We've definitely seen it in all the airports.
Yeah, so we're seeing, and now I'm going like, I've never seen this place before, but now I've had it, I'm seeing it everywhere. But it was so good. So, and then one of my friends messaged and said, oh, I went to that in London last week, and I was like, what the hell? I had no idea this existed. But it was very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going to New York and going into McDonald's and saying, oh, this is the only place.
But I feel like a Japanese, it could be a chain, but I feel like a Japanese restaurant like chain is going to be better in Japan. So like, it tasted very good. And then obviously we had food at the baseball as well. I don't know if we're linking that. We're obviously going to talk about the baseball.
We're going to talk about the baseball as well. So.
But the food at the baseball, me and Sam had this. Well, all we could tell again from the menu, can't really tell, but there was like these deep fried balls. There was on the menu. We're like,
you've got to be careful.
They look very good.
Balls.
So we're like, we'll try some of them. Ordered them. They were just so good, so like incredible. Yeah. Turned out it was deep fried octopus. But it was so good. Like, we loved it. So we had it a couple of times in the end. But
remember the chips at the baseball?
Yeah.
So we walked into the Tokyo Dome to watch Yomiuri Giants. I mean, we might as well get into the baseball quickly anyway. So we got to Japan. Everyone said you got to go and see baseball in Japan. We bought tickets to Yomiuri Giants against Yokohama.
I can't remember the names.
I can't remember the team. It was Yokohama. It was definitely Yokohama, and the wall like red.
Red, yeah. It was like a purpley red and maroon.
So we went to the baseball, not knowing whether it was a league match or whatever. Walked in, and these people were just walking around with like what looked like a carton of chips, but it was like the chip carton ended there, and the chips ended there.
It was like foot-long chips. Yeah.
What's going on there? So we sort of sat down, and I've gone. A lot of people eating these weird chips. So we've ended up getting some, and they were just like foot-long chips.
Yeah, they were. They were good. They were
very good. But it was a bizarre food stuff. But the Tokyo Dome. So we've actually got a video coming out soon. So keep your eye out for that. From our experience and getting amongst the fans.
Yeah, we did kind of like a vlog of the day.
Yeah, I got amongst the fans in the Yomiuri. End and the other end as well.
Yes, but a home and away team.
Yeah, it was good. But like, you had the away singing section and the home singing section, and I mean this is so far away from food at this point, but I don't care. I'm going off on a tangent. The respect between the opposition fans.
Oh, yeah, there's no.
Like it was so, like almost symbolic of the Japanese society. It was like, okay, right, we're not batting now, so. We're going to be quiet. We're going to sit down and shut up. I mean, in England, you literally get fans go, sit down, shut up, sit down, shut up. And they're doing in Japan. They're doing. They just sit
actually
there,
do.
You know what? You crack
They only were singing really when their team was batting.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of like your football team. You're only singing when you're on the attack.
Yeah. It really is.
So, as soon as they came out to bat, like the away end would get up and all sort of 2,000 of them would get up, and they'd all have their little chants, the song sheets. You'd have a bloke at the front with a megaphone.
Yep.
And I think they had like.
Yeah, so I was going to say, it was Cheering Club was the thing on the back. So they had they had their special. If you were if you would you'd sit in like the home or away end. Like there was a special like bit where everyone would sing, but they had maybe a group of like 20 of them were like these were the Cheering Club. So their job was to make the noise. So they'd have a few trumpet players in there, drums.
Flags.
They've got the flag holders, and then the guy kind of at the front who will like lead the chants, and like kind of your conductor at the front kind of leading the chants. And it was like mad to see that how like again it was just so like organised. It was like,
but it was weird because in between innings they would swap positions.
Yes, yeah. Well, I can imagine doing the whole screaming, telling everyone what song we're singing or whatever for the whole game. You can do that one game and you've lost your voice for the next 4.
But it was like. So at football, the only way of creating a chant in England is like you stand at the back of the stand, you go, "My garden shed is bigger than this," and before you know it, you've got 4,000 people in a way and singing the same song. Yeah. And you are fully prepared the moment you start that chant for it to die on its arse.
So you could do it and no one's saying anything.
No one joins in. There, the guy at the front, he says it,
it's his,
and all 2,000 of them in unison. And they all know the chant. I mean, I tried to
learn a few.
Learn
the rhythm. I feel you learned the rhythm. The words, maybe not, but the rhythm you were there with.
I mean, to be fair, so as we walked into the Tokyo Dome, we were given song sheets. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but obviously, again.
I mean, I think I've still got mine. I'm hoping I've got mine because I will put a photo on if I have got it of the song sheets, and it's 2 words in English.
Yes, it was like
something like "Let's go."
Yeah, I was going to say "go." Like I thought the "go" was the word. I remember that.
And when so just going finally on the baseball, when Yomiuri Giants did score a run, if you are watching on YouTube, you will absolutely be able to see that we've got the Yomiuri Giants towel in front of us. If you're listening on Spotify, it's an orange towel with some Japanese writing on it, and it's like a beer towel.
Yes,
it's like the sort of thing you would see on a bar in England, like. That, you know, you'd put a few pints on. If you were working behind a bar, you'd use that to put pints on, so you're not, you know, on a bloody bar that's absolutely drenched. And whenever they scored a run, it was towels in the air.
It was towels. Yeah,
and it was like
your scarves in the UK.
Unison, the whole ground. Like everyone's got one of these. So I bought one of these because I was like, well, I've got to join in. I've got to join in here. Like you can't not be involved in this if you're vlogging it. So look out for this. The video is very good, and we are hoping to put that out very shortly. But that is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's like scarves. It's like leads. It was scarves. Which again, I mean, the best of it is for me with the baseball. So we had a great day out. It was a really tight game, really fun. But we left the ground. And we didn't even know that it was a friendly.
Yes, it was a friendly.
It was a friendly. Yeah, there were about 15, 20,000 people there for a friendly. Incredible. Nothing I've ever seen. But again, if you're in Japan, sample their sports, sample their sort of baseball. It's really worth going. Going back onto food briefly, 7-Eleven.
Oh yes. So here's where your Western food or whatever.
It was Western food, but it was like bizarre because it was Western food with a twist.
So obviously, in our last podcast we spoke about the toasties in 7-Eleven in Thailand, which were saying that's so good. They were cheap. They were so convenient, so quick, easy. The 7-Eleven cheese and ham wraps from Japan. So much better. Put out there now that I'm thinking this ranks above the toasties for me.
Them 7-Eleven wraps in Japan. So I tell you this, I know this is a fact. My bank account, I've got. There's been days where we were out in Japan and we'd got back late at night, 4 in the morning late, and I would check my bank the next day. I'd be like, I don't even remember going to 7-Eleven. And I know as a fact what was happened because the price was about $2 or £2, and I was like. I know what I've done. I've ordered 2 wraps. Because they were just incredible.
So again, quick, easy, cheap, and just tasted so good.
I mean, it's ridiculous for us to be talking about
Japan.
Yeah, exactly. 7-Eleven wraps.
But I've never seen. We've been to so many countries since as well. 7-Elevens in all of them, not the wraps. The wraps,
even here,
they're the only place.
We're in the US now, and they do not have them wraps.
No, the wraps are the only place I've seen the wraps are in Japan, and they were so good.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't all sunshine and flowers in 7-Eleven. Some of the food in 7-Eleven and their chilled aisle was a little bit ropey. I mean,
the sandwiches.
Some of the sandwiches. So I saw one sandwich that had Mexican Whopper with avocado written on it. Again, I have absolutely no idea what that was. You had the custard milk sandwich.
Yes, the milk sandwich was the one I was.
Custard milk.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
What else? There was.
And their sandwiches don't have crust either. They're just white.
Yeah,
bread.
it's just white bread and trimmed. And there was, I think there was one with like fish and jam. I'm certain it was like fish and jelly. I was like, it sort of strikes me that
there was a strawberry one as well, which wasn't strawberries and it wasn't strawberry jam. It was like strawberry jelly, like it was thick strawberry jelly in a sandwich. You're thinking like some of these combinations are a bit.
So yeah, I mean it would be like a roulette wheel. We also had mochi as well.
Yes, very good.
Which was the Japanese
ice cream. Yeah, very good.
Very nice. Rice paper ice cream. In fact, didn't we have a day where we just like had like 5 different types of ice cream?
We just went snacks. We went to a seminar. We were like, right, we've got to try something. Like, it had so many different snacks and stuff there. So like, we get a bag of these sweets, a bag of these like ice, like they were like sweets, but they were like ice cream sweet. Like they were a bag with like ice balls, whatever. They were very good. A few different ice creams we tried. Like just went for a day. We're like, we've got to try all these, and the drinks and stuff as well. They had so many different drinks.
Oh, what was the drinks that we had? What was the
Pecori Sweat was one.
So if you're ever on the lash in Japan and you need to cure your hangover the next day, don't go for McDonald's Coke. As good as that is, there's a drink called Pecori Sweat. And
doesn't sound appealing.
It doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it's not the sweat of sort of
Mr. Pecori.
Yeah, Mr. Pecori. That's not what it is. He has a bath in it. What it is it's this grey drink, and it is a lifesaver. It effectively just replenishes all the electrolytes in your body, and it is like we relied on that drink.
Yeah, it was good. The next day was the go-to straight away.
They also had like random vitamins that you could buy and like drink, like hangover vitamins.
Yeah, they were like the little shots. Sam had one of these, but they're like.
He said it tasted of fish.
Yeah, it was like a very weird little bottle, and it was full of like colours. Like it was so bright, and it was just a shot. It had like your normal, like I've seen them in the UK where you got like your ginger shot and stuff like that, but this was like it had everything in it, and. I don't know the effect it had on Sam, to be fair. I can't remember.
Well, he's not with us anymore, so...
Yeah. But he's back home, he's not...
the thoughts of the Couple of Pints podcast. But no, so you had all these drinks. What else was... There was another drink that...
There was that milk one. There was a milk thing.
There was a milk thing. There was a drink that me and you had which was just weird, but it was alright, and I can't remember what it was, but if it comes to me, I'll mention it, but... Either way, 7-Eleven was built, it's built for convenience.
Yeah, it's good.
Japan has obviously embraced 7-Eleven because they are on every corner, and it's 24 hours a day. One thing that struck me with Japan was, from the moment we got there, it was like being in a video game.
Mm-hmm. With the music and the noises.
The music, the noises, everywhere you go, it's like, bow, 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 boom, boom. And you're like, I walk down the street, and you're half expecting to collect coins or slip on banana skins, do you know what I mean? And,
you're in what? Super Mario.
Even the guy at customs so Narita Airport, we went through customs and like they do the immigration, they just put a sticker in your passport, which again I love that. You're not dicking about with stamps. They're like, sticker, no problem. But even the guy was like, anything to declare, nothing, and he was like, okay, and he just stood there waving. And I was like, mate, I'm like a yard away from you. You don't need a wave. It's all good, but like, it's just. The society just reminds me of being in a game, and it is incredible. When it comes to vending machines,
very good again, and everywhere. Just
vending machines for everything.
Yeah.
Vending machines are everywhere. You can get drinks from them. You can get food from them. You can get SIM cards from them.
Yeah. We got our SIM cards from the airport.
So
the
at Narita Airport, we got our 4G SIMs from the
vending machine,
come with a little instruction packet all in English. No issues.
Good.
It's mad.
And as you say, the drinks, like we were getting them all the time. Like anytime we went to the train, like the metro, whatever, always getting a drink from the.
We've relied on them airport SIM cards everywhere we've been so far on this journey, on this trip, and that was the most helpful person I've met.
What, a vending machine?
Yeah, it wasn't even a person. Like it literally. Okay, what do you want? I want some 4G. How long for?
Yeah.
5 days. Okay, we'll do that for you. About 15 quid.
Yeah, wasn't it?
All right, sound. How do I do this? Oh,
Here's the full
instructions.
Comes with a little pin as
Mate,
well.
there's
to get
places
everything
we've been
out, yeah.
where just some woman has robbed my phone and started going through the settings, and I'm like, love, what are you doing? So, the vending machines, it's just, again, it goes back to the whole, it's a nation built on convenience.
Yes,
It tries to be built on convenience. What else was I going to say on that? So there's something else I was about to say on convenience. That was it. So, we come out of Narita Airport and we need to get to the city.
Yeah.
We are near Narita Airport. It's like flying into Manchester.
Yeah, it's quite far away.
It's like flying into Manchester and needing to be in Birmingham.
Yeah.
It's about 80 miles away from Tokyo city centre.
Far out, yeah.
So we needed to go and get a train.
Yeah.
We knew that there was a train. Assumptions of Japan are that it's Japan. Trains will run efficiently, on time, it'll be easy to get on them. The reality of the fact was a little bit more difficult than that.
Most of them were right. That first one was, we were like,
that first one was like, what are we doing
we
here?
waited, like we got downstairs to the platform there, and then it came up, it was like 8 minutes, next one, we're like, okay, calm, we'll wait, 8 minutes. And then 30 seconds before it's meant to arrive, it just goes, cancelled.
Yeah.
We go, oh, brilliant. So now what do we do?
Even Avanti wouldn't do that in England.
It was 30 seconds. It was like there was like no attendance there on the platform. So like now what do we do? So we were just like, you know what? Let's just get on the next one. Like surely like we're so far out now, anything's going in. So we got on that one. Yeah. And we just had to do one change.
Even before we got on the train, we tried to use our bank cards and use Apple Pay to get through the gates, but. You've got to use a little robot called Passmo.
Yes, so
my little friend Passmo still exists on my phone. He's probably hacking me at this point. They've got their own app to get you from A to B, which is like you've got to top up your card.
It's like the Oyster, but for Japan.
Exactly that. So it was quite easy to use. I thought Passmo was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, the app was all in Japanese, so you had to work out, like we had to try a few different buttons first to be like, is it this one? Right, that's taking me to some screen that doesn't look like I'm doing anything, so I'll use this one. So we got there eventually, and then when we got it the first time, like, then we were like, every time we need to top up is easy to do. But the first time was a bit like, I don't speak Japanese, and I don't know what any of these things. It was kind of, again, looking at kind of the pictures and the symbols, you're going, yeah, that looks about right, I'll go with that one. And we got there eventually, we made it, so we must have done okay eventually. Yeah.
And Passmo, so we use Passmo, and like you put 1,000 yen on your Passmo, you use it, but every time you go through a gate, it tells you how much you've got left.
Yes.
And we played that little game of like Passmo roulette, where we were trying to run for a train and trying to get through the barriers.
You don't know how much that train is going to cost,
the beauty of Japan is, so the barriers are open most of the time.
But
as you found out, and Sam found out, I never found out this because I never tried to fare dodge in Japan. So
it wasn't fair dodge.
If there are any Japanese listeners, pass it on. But if you try to like walk through the barriers having not scanned your Passmo, it's like a ding ding.
Yeah, they literally shot right in front of you. They're like that quickly, like.
And you have not got the time to react. So you are not jumping that barrier. But again, it's pretty cool. Like I think going back to the video game thing about being in Japan and feeling like a video game, every single tube station in Japan has its own jingle. Yeah. So you get to like Shinjuku or whatever, and it's like bum bum bim bum boom boom bum, and you're like, oh, okay, that's strange. And then you get to the next one, and it's like dun 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 dun, and like I quite enjoyed that. I'll be fair.
I mean, you could probably get a job at doing the theme tunes when they do some new ones.
I've already applied.
Yeah, with that application.
The guy's retired.
Send that in.
But it's something that. It's a little gimmick, but you would never see it anywhere else in the world. It's cool. It's a bit of character, because I mean, all you get on the London Underground is the screech of like people that don't want to be in London.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know that absolute collective groan when they get to Euston. Toilets in Japan.
Ah, yes.
Toilets in Japan. I have never sat down for a wee more often in my life than I have in Japan, and the reason for that is obviously there's a preconception of Japan is that the toilets have got all singing, all dancing capabilities, and they've got like a little water fountain, and they have. And everything you ever heard about a Japanese toilet is true. If I could get one fitted at home, I would, because I mean they're preheated.
The heated seat.
They've got undersoil heating.
The best
quite
part
literally.
of the heated seat.
So, I mean, we were just like we were in the hostel. We were in a hostel in Japan, and even that had like heated toilets.
Everywhere.
Public toilets would have it.
Everywhere.
I mean, in England, public toilets are.
You're lucky if it's got a toilet seat.
It looks like a prison. It would normally look like a prison. Same in America. Same in most modern countries, because they're like, oh well, someone's going to nick things if they're not bolted down. In Japan, they're like, oh, never mind that. Get that heated toilet seat on, and mate, it's incredible. But you've also got the fountain show. So we were at Las Vegas, and last night we went to see the Bellagio fountains. That's got nothing on a Japanese toilet. Absolutely nothing. Like, explain it. Go on, tell us.
No, I mean it was just. Well, I mean it's built for cleanliness, isn't it? So it's nothing too exciting, but it's just again just follows on for that. It's convenient. I saw one with a radio. Did I tell you that?
Yeah,
the music thing on it. It's convenient. It's efficient. Like it's just and like why would you not like it? Just
do you know what I find weird? The fact that again, much like the jingles, that's not caught on anywhere else in the world.
No.
How is that not caught on? Like that is such a useful invention. I mean, I say that. It's just because you've got a warm arse when you sit down. Do you know what I mean? And it was cold, and you're like, that's beautiful. And you're like, so
it comes back 40 minutes later.
I can sit down and have this wee for a good half hour, just scrolling through Twitter, having a wee. But it was amazing. It's just, I don't know. I think that the Japanese get it right on a lot of things, and that's another one where they absolutely have. You got, I mean. The other thing with Japan, so you've got like car parks that are two or three bays.
Just a corner of the street we're gone. Well, there's a bit of space here. We'll just put a little car park.
They don't waste any space at all. No. Well, obviously, I used to work for a car park company in England, and they were looking to do something similar. But in Japan, it's like it's been there for decades.
Yeah,
it's amazing. But you park your car, and then the moment you park your car and you pay. Like you go over a ramp, and if you try and reverse out that ramp, you're shredding your tyres, which is.
You go in, park. The ramp comes up, and you leave, and then when you come back, you've got to pay to release the ramp, so that it knows how long you've been there, and then you just pay. Once you pay, it will just release the ramp, and you can go back out. So
it's just, like I say, it's a society that knows what they're doing.
Like that doesn't need ticket wardens. It doesn't need. They're not looking for to make work or stuff for the people, like they can do it with the technology, so why would they not? So it works so well.
Landmarks in Japan.
Yeah, we went to
a few.
Yeah, we did a lot of.
We saw Tokyo Tower, which is obviously one of the tallest freestanding towers in the world. Pretty incredible.
No, that's the Sky Tree. Tokyo Tower is the Eiffel Tower.
Tokyo Tower used to be one of the tallest freestanding. The Tokyo Sky Tree is
that
huge.
Observation deck.
That is huge. We were gonna go and see Mount Fuji.
The weather let us down there.
You say the weather. It was the Monday before we left. We were leaving on the Tuesday. The Sunday night was the night we got in at 4 a.m. after England played. That's why. Obviously, nothing to do with beers. And we got up at 3 in the afternoon. It was cloudy.
But when we were there, we still wanted to do it.
But to be fair, we were looking at like the YouTube footage.
Yeah, there's a live feed, and so every day we're checking can we go today or whatever, and we just look at it. You can't actually see it, so like it seems a bit of a waste to go all the way there because it's not that close. Like you can get there on the bullet train and do it, but we're like it's not worth going now if you're not going to be able to see it.
The weird thing is the guy we were staying with, the American guy Gav, he went.
Yeah, he did.
He drove to it. He came back and he said to us. Couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So he saved us a day really.
Yeah,
because, he made me feel a lot better about my choices that day. But you've got them landmarks. You've got the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. Another one they've just chucked in there, it was quite cool to go and see. To be fair,
it was weird.
Wow. Yeah. Because we have both been to New York. We've both seen the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
To go and see it looks exactly the same. Obviously, it's a bit smaller, but like looks exactly the same. Like it was just, why is it here? It was a bit of a.
It was quite bizarre. We tried to go and see the Olympic. Like sort of village
skateboarding and stuff like that, but it was all
it sectioned off. So sorry, Tim, if Tim Ward is listening, we couldn't get
tried
there.
to go.
We tried.
We saw it from like 200 metres away.
A distance. But again, it's like everything about that culture and that society. It's just really cool. I thought Japan was cool.
Yeah.
Like I thought that the traditional stuff. So we saw traditional landmarks as well. So we went to the. What's it called?
Sensei Joe.
That's the one.
The big temple.
I couldn't remember the name of it. I knew it was a temple. It's the building that you see on everything relating to like traditional Japan.
Yeah.
It's where I bought that from actually.
Or if you get the emoji as that.
So just to confirm, that's not me, being culturally disproportionate towards Japan. And if you are listening, that is, I wore a bandana at the start with the Japanese writing on, which actually means love and hope or something like that.
There was a few different
ones. A few different ones. But we actually bought that from that landmark, which is mad. Like, so all this sort of stuff that you think is like non-traditional Japan stuff, it is actually like, really part of their culture.
Yeah.
You've got the so we saw the temple, which is around the corner from the Sky Tree. It's just like amazing, like all the traditional, the lanterns, the cherry blossom. Obviously, we were quite fortunate on the time of year we were there because cherry blossom was out. But you had all the traditional lanterns lined up.
Yeah,
and it's like
incredible. Yeah,
you just wouldn't. I mean,
everything's just picture perfect. Like
it
just looks like everything you'd expect to look in a picture, and better. Like it would just.
So Japan is like Instagram versus reality, but reality is better.
Yeah.
And like everything that you see about Japan, like just. If you get the opportunity to go because I cannot endorse it enough as a place. The place is amazing.
Again, I agree. Honestly. Like out of all the places I've been, it's a very different holiday in terms of like I would normally love like a beach or a pool and that kind of thing. But as a city, it's got to be one of my favourite cities I've been to.
Well, Shinjuku in Tokyo as well. So obviously, Tokyo is like 6 cities put together. It's like a conglomerate of cities. It's huge. Shinjuku was where a lot of the karaoke bars were, where we went, and Shinjuku is like New York.
Yeah.
But it's like New York,
give me that
except
vibe.
the people are like respectful everywhere. Like, and that's not to say New York hasn't got respect for people. It has.
Cover yourself there.
Yeah, that's stupid. I've got mates from New York, so that's fine. Just to clarify, but everyone is respectful.
Yeah, it was.
And you don't have like the checking your shoulder either in Japan. You're not like, it's quite safe.
You felt safe everywhere you went. Couldn't recommend it enough.
You go down the street in Shinjuku and it's like Times Square. Yeah. Right in with Times Square, you've got the advertising board in hoarding, which was 3D.
Yeah, the 3D one where the cat comes out the screen.
Not so good when it weren't the cat. I'll be honest.
Oh no, there was that Star Wars UFO one that I thought was really good. But some of them had done it properly and it looked really good. Some of them were
some of them looked like a university sort of module effort of trying to do some 3D artwork. One thing I did find interesting was that I learned a lot about my phone when we were in Japan. And what I learned was that you can take a photograph. So when we were at the Tokyo Dome, there was a row of 30 different food stalls.
Yes.
And you can take a photo of Japanese writing.
Oh, and get the translation. And that was very useful.
Your phone, when you click on it, it will allow you to translate it. And some of the translations weren't always perfect, but that was. So I think you could probably get through Japanese society without actually needing to speak much English to Japanese to get by. Because with modern technology, I mean, that is where I actually realised how good a phone is. A modern phone. I mean, 20 years ago, you wouldn't have had that option. No. There and then, we knew what we were doing. Yeah. Which is mental. Yeah. We don't know what we're doing anywhere we go. But when people have asked us since, and obviously we're sort of almost halfway through the trip now at this point, we're a couple of weeks shy of halfway. But when people ask us, where's the best place you've been?
It's my
at the
answer.
moment,
Yeah.
Tokyo is taking some beating.
Yeah, it's my answer. Yeah.
Would you go back to Japan?
I would 100% go back. Like, we only did 5 days there.
Would you see more? Would you go and see more?
Yes, like as I said, we did 5 days there, and we did stuff every single day. There was no like chill, like or whatever. Every single day, every night, we were busy. We were like full to the brim. Like, so I feel you could go for much longer than we did, like, and still have stuff to do.
So the visa was like 3 months.
Yes,
when we
you
got
did,
there.
yeah,
I reckon that I could easily do 2 months in Japan.
Yeah,
Just
well, yeah,
exploring,
just,
like,
yeah.
Kyoto.
Yeah, and again, we didn't get out of Tokyo. We just did Tokyo. So I would love to go out.
Kyoto, Osaka. There's so many cities there that are like huge.
Yeah,
Hiroshima,
I'd love to do a lot more.
And I think that my next 2-week trip that I get a chance to go and do, as much as I enjoy flying west to America, I think it's going to be a trip east to Japan. And
100%, I'll go again.
It's going to be sort of really class. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't without its Western sort of culture either. The fact that when we were there, for 2 of the nights we were there, Harry Styles was performing in the arena. So you're never far away from the Western sort of entertainment and everything that goes with that. But again, I mean, just reiterating really, what a place.
Yeah.
What a few days. And is there any sort of advice you would give people going to Japan?
Give us a message. We'll tell you everything you got to do.
Drop a message to us.
We've got like there's just so much like we can recommend to do. It was incredible. Just go out, try things, eat a lot of new food or different food, or just a lot of their like local food. Like, it's incredible. All the food's insane. Go out, have fun, go to the bars.
Go and karaoke.
Yeah, and there we go. Like, there's just so much.
And go and do the sports, because the sports. I mean, we're going to go to a football match there as well. We just didn't get the chance. Time sort of got better of us, but it was just everyone was so fanatical. Like in the city, like even though we weren't at the game, the bar I was drinking in, everyone had the shirt of the home team on.
Yes.
Mad. Like, you wouldn't get that in England. You wouldn't go to like Broad Street when Villa are playing and see people wearing Villa shirts in bars. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But again, like I say, really great trip. Really enjoyed it. And as always, we sort of thank you for joining us and letting us ramble through Japan.
Yeah. Obviously, lots more to come. So make sure.
Plenty more to come. We've got a lot of episodes over the next few weeks. Obviously, we're in the USA right now, but that's not sort of where we've gone straight from Japan. So there is a little bit more to come. As always, subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram and Twitter. And thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Perfect. Thank you very much.